Hello. I hope the sound is working. I think it is. But there's no way to know with StreamYard. Let me double check. So tonight is all about proof. Show me the proof. I have a number of different whiskeys available, and I'm going to see basically which one I like best, and it's going to be mostly, is it because of the proof or is it just because of the brand or what? I don't know. It's something to do, and it's keeping me out of trouble, I hope. All right, mic looks good. Words being said, stuff is happening. Oh gosh, how am I going to do this? I was going to pour these out like first, but then I realized I have this innate need to be like, this is what I'm pouring. It's in there, I promise. In the Andalusia Glencairn, not that you can see that, but it says that on there. We are putting Evan Williams 100 proof, which was talked up big time by Bourbon Night recently, and I wholeheartedly agree that you can get a bottle of this for $15, and it is amazing. Must remember to pour only a little, or I will be. What's the word that's being used now? Schlammered? Schlammered? That's what it is. Where do I put this? Oh. Number 2 on the list this evening will be this lovely one, which I did a review of not long ago. I want to say last week, but that could have been 2 weeks ago. And this has, this is going to be in the Garrison Brothers glass. Again, you can't tell. There's a little star, but I promise it says Garrison Brothers on it. This is so I keep track, mostly, and pretty much no other reason. Huh? Might be a little more than I wanted, but that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. And now we'll put another machine. There we go. I'm actually capping these too, which is something I haven't had to do before. In my Whiskey Vault Glencairn, we will be putting, well, what do you think? Eleanor. This one, the other two are obvious. They're 100 proof. This one is where we're starting to go up the ladder. This one is what, 57.3. So much higher than what I usually am able to get. And also I'm only pouring a little of this because I can't get this easily. Some people can, I cannot. I wish I could. Someday. Maybe. There. And I'm going to cap it. God, so much to do. And in my not labeled Glencairn at all, we will be putting what is quickly becoming less and less, which I reviewed again recently. This is the Foolproof 1792 single barrel select from a store nearby called Cappy's, and it is at 62.5%. So it's the highest one, and I already know I like it, clearly. And this was also my first donated bottle, which I don't want to end. What is that? Look, American Scotch. This one? Or the one before? Oh, the one before, probably. That? Eleanor? It's from Crowded Barrel Whiskey in Texas. And I have almost none of it left. I forget there's this little bulb in the bottle. That one before that one? Oh, the delay. Yes, that is officially one of the Whiskey Tribe Crowded Barrel whiskeys. I actually have gotten 2 bottles of I picked up my 2 bottles last November. This one is long gone, and it makes me sad that it's gone. But I still have a little bit of the other one, which I'm putting in the lineup. Also because it's technically not a bourbon. I forgot to cap this. There. We're done. That's it. Bye, everybody. I have now capped all of these, and now I have to try and go through the motions here. I'm terrified of doing this because I have 4 glasses. Jim, how high can the proof get? Proof can get stupidly high. I think there's a limit in America. I forget what it is. I don't think they can go to 70. Well, actually, yeah, they can. Now that I think about it, there is stuff out there that is ridiculously high proof. On whiskey, I think there's a limit, but I honestly don't remember. Deb did not distill that American Scotch Doctor. That is the MGP lineup. So basically, they got it from MGP, did something to it. I forget what, and just aged it in Texas for a while. The actual stuff that Deb's been working on, the single malt magnificence, or the single mom as they call it, that's been aging for a while. But in the video on the Whiskey Tribe yesterday, they did do a whole tribute to her and actually gave her the first bottle of what they've actually distilled. So that's how I know I don't have it. But I was involved vicariously in some of that process just by being on the Patreon Whiskey Vault Tribe thing. So that's how I was involved, and I'm looking forward to trying it someday, but not today. Today we're just dealing with proofs. And I'm very sad that Deb's leaving, but I mean, lots of bad things have happened this year. It just keeps getting better and better. And hopefully she'll still be around. Actually, they said she'd still be around, so it's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully I'll actually meet her someday. When I went to Texas last November, she was on vacation. So I didn't actually get to meet her in person, which was sad, but oh well. That was lovely and sweet. And that is, of course, the Bottle and Bond. Strangely enough, that one smells sweeter. That's the old tub. Now, these are all lovely whiskeys, so I'm going to have a hard time doing anything. And they all smell very similar. Like even this. This is the MGP thing from Cowder Barrel. It smells wonderful. And oddly enough, I'm liking the smell as I go through each of these more and more. Oh. This one doesn't smell as sweet, funny enough. But I'm not getting hit by the alcohol, which is what I remember as a kid. Or not as a kid, but back in my youth, when I was a young lad of 21. Thank you, American Scotch Doctor. Yeah, the proof thing always throws me off. I know you can pretty much put whatever you want in a barrel usually, but there's proof drop just due to time. Sometimes there's proof gain due to time, depending on where it is and just the weather, the humidity, the everything, because of how whiskey acts in a barrel, which is why it's so crazy. I'll have to do a video someday, but the whole process of how whiskey came to be a thing is dumbfounding to me. I know the general idea of why it became a thing, but it still boggles the senses that it became something that we just do and something you can buy, anywhere, pretty much. The real problem I have with bourbons is I don't know if it's just because of my nose or what, but everything's just stupidly sweet. Can I do the thing? Thank you, JG, for stopping by. I forgot I can do this now. This is the thing. Oh, and I'll do this one too, because that's good to know. How long do you keep it up there and all that stuff? I don't know. But I am using the SteamYard thing today. They are glorious, JG. Or at least the Eleanor itself are lovely. The Balcones release, I don't know if I ever tried, but I know I did sample one of the, what do they call it? The Alliance release. I tried one of those at Irene's store, I'm going to assume last year, and it was wonderful. I lost track of what I was doing. This one seems fruitier now. Good grief. I wish I could move my camera back a little to actually show that I'm picking up different whiskeys, because I had to. If you can't see what's on here, you have no idea what I'm picking up. Oh, these are lovely. These are all lovely, but I am finding a weird sweetness in the Whiskey Vault one, the Crowded Barrel. And the last one, not so sweet, weirdly enough. I honestly called the 1776 bottle I was given pretty much creme brulee in a glass, but now compared to these other three, the Crowded Barrel one smells sweeter. And I remember that one actually was ridiculously sweet as well. Ah, well, that explains you just explained why there was such an odd, or what seemed like an odd number on this. I'll see if I can show it, but I kind of doubt it. Show me the number. 62.5%. Right on the money. And it's amazing to me. The question is, which one am I going to like the taste of more? They all smell wonderful. Can I pick out all the notes and details of these? Probably not. They all smell like bourbon. And I wish I could mix them up somehow. People have been telling me about blinds and that kind of thing. It's an option, but how I would do it without accidentally knowing exactly what it is. I know a lot of people do the sticker thing on the bottom, but for all I don't have stickers. I like having you around, American Scotch Talker. You know things. For me, it's like I've heard things, but I don't have a good memory. Mostly I'm just drinking whiskey to drink the whiskey. But there are certain things about it I like. I like the history of how whiskey came to be and that kind of thing. And just the whole process, like I was saying earlier, is mind-boggling. How it became a thing. Because I know it became a thing with many other things. Like it somehow became a thing due to brewing, I think. Has something to do with a coffee still? That's an old memory. No, JG, I'm nowhere near Texas, sadly. And kind of goodly, I guess. At least right now, during this recording. I'm in the New England area, Rhode Island, which is a place that people think is part of New York sometimes, for some reason. It isn't. So I have access to something called New England whiskeys, which people don't really know about much, but it's a thing, I guess. I can prove it. Ugh. I've actually had this bottle for 2 years now, I think. But this is one that most people don't have. New England single malt. I know it's blurry, but that's what it says. My camera likes to be weird. There's an autofocus on it. So it does its own thing. I'm starting to get like that. For one, I did not start this very well because I had coffee like an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. So I'm terrified as if I've thrown everything off from the very get-go. Yep, that's definitely Evan Williams Bottom Bond. That's alcohol. Right there. Oh, it's lovely. But I've noticed with Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, it does that thing to my tongue, which I feel, for whatever reason, I focus more on the weird memories I seem to get and straight up reactions and texture feels, I guess. I seem to have a thing for, like, my tongue's been dried out by that whiskey. And I've always felt that Evan Williams Bottled Bond, while good, does have a kind of oaky tanniny thing, which I don't dislike. I mean, it's bourbon. It's kind of part of it, but oh my God. Joys of living in an apartment. I'm sure that's very loud. Yeah, zingy. Do the thing. It's a mouthfeel. Mouthfeel. I'm wearing the shirt. I might as well go with that. And they stole it from a show anyway. It's zingy. tingly even, I think is the word I use sometimes. Some New England distilleries are the Sons of Liberty, which I just showed you. And also, I think they call themselves Newport Craft now. But it used to be Newport Brewery, which is actually, I like their beer quite a bit. And they are distilling something called Sea Fog, which is actually pretty cool. It's a smoked peated kind of thing. It's amazing. And they just did a rye. But again, problem with it being local distributors and stuff like that. They're expensive because they only have a few. They only have like a few hundred bottles. I think it was Bob's Burgers. It's that old man clip he always uses. Exceptional mouthfeel. That's all I got. I've never even watched Bob Burgers. I just know it exists. Oh, wait. There's like an order to this. I'm not an organized person. Stranahan's? I've heard of it. Oh, wait. One thing my mother said when she was watching this is she can't always see the chat. I think she just didn't have the chat box open, but I can do this, and there it is. And I can say I haven't. Ragged Island is only beer. Mr. Jim or Mr. K. Watching you. Colorado whiskey. I'm going to say I haven't. I've only been doing, actually just recently I've been doing, where'd it go? Oh. The last one I did was these guys, which is Iowa. I'm certainly looking for other types of whiskeys and other type of places. That's important to me. Just because, right now, can't really go anywhere. And I can't really just sample everything I want to. Oh, Tin Cup. I have had Tin Cup once. Ooh. Oh, there it is. Ow. Ow. That one feels burnier. And it's the same alcohol. But it's not as it's not doing the dry out thing. It's more sweet than anything. He does. It's a recurring theme. Typos are fun. I know I'm not really saying what I'm doing, but if I wish, no, hold on. My left right is the 250 proofs, 100 proofs, sorry, 50%, 100 proofs. I'm hitting the Texas whiskey one now, which smells lovely. Oh, wow. It's definitely a different taste. It's like there's more char or something. And it's clingier. Oh, gosh. I'm going to do this every time. This is my reference. And there's actually my family has a history of, what is that thing called? Acidy stomach stuff. Mine is the least bad, but it's still there sometimes. It's really bad for my brother. So I don't know if that's part of it, but I always feel the alcohol will go down. I think that's partially why I like having a high proof whiskey or bourbons with a ball of ice, because that just simmers it out a little so it doesn't burn all the way down. Yeah, JG, if the last video I had, I was actually mildly frustrated because it tastes like a bourbon, but it seems thinned out to me. I guess, again, that's just my thing, is I have this getting the details of every single whiskey I drink. No, getting kind of a vague idea. Yeah. But again, that's the bourbon. It was the first time I had it. And I have a sample pack, and they're all these tiny little bottles. This is the next one I'm probably going to do, which I think I showed last time I streamed. But this is their weeded whiskey. I think I have 5. And then I have 2 of them being a single malt and 1 of them being a barrel something or other. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show it. But again, yeah. So people know who's asking what. Yeah, the Cedar Ridge Iowa bourbon whiskey. It's even got the numbers. Stop looking at me. And everything behind me, camera. You suck. Actually, it's a very good camera. There we go. Just got to get it right. That's the one I had last time. Batch number 356. Oh, that's what it was. Acid reflux. I don't have any tips other than go see your gastroenterologist, really. Because, that's the only thing I've done. And I did find out I have a fatty liver. That's why I have to be very careful when drinking alcohol in general. Oh, they do make the new... Okay. Thank you, JG. We'll show that. Yeah, anything above 40% I'm happy with. And 43, I think, is the magic number for... What is it? Cold something or other. This is why I don't want to say I'm a whiskey wizard or whatever it is. No, lying on your side can make it worse. Good to know. Okay, Mr. Scotch Doctor, thank you for stopping by. The last one smells wonderful, as always. So that's what I'm going to do. This is my elaborate excuse to drink all the whiskey. Ooh, that one was prickly. And like up here when I was tasting it. I like it. Pain. Now, the idea of this, of course, is for me to figure out, is it the proof that I'm liking more? Kinda. I mean, that last one I can still feel. Just so. And that's the highest proof I have right now. But it doesn't taste as sweet, and it is doing a little bit of the drying out of my tongue, only slightly, compared to the first one. It's not even anything. Oddly enough, the first one does more to my palate or tongue or whatever you want to call it than the other 3. So why it's just 100 proof, it isn't as dry. And I don't know if that's just because it's Evan Williams and that's their thing, or it's the 100 proof Evan Williams that is thing. Because I don't think I get that from just the black label. Ugh. For whatever reason, that bothers me. Secret info. But seeing the plug in the wall bugs me. I don't know why. It just does. There's no reason for it. But anyway, I'm going to do the thing where I'm going to look these up since I have already technically reviewed all of these, I think. Yeah, they're all open. I've reviewed them all. That Emily bottom like that. Yeah. I think the other thing that's going to be a thing for me is every time I drink bourbon, for the most part, there are definitely ones that surprise me. Coming to mind immediately is the Angel's Envy. If I've ever had, well, I have had that. I drank a whole bottle of it once. Before I was making reviews, I think. I'm at the point where I've made so many videos that I don't remember what I've done. So that's the first world problem, I think. But I often, like most people who review stuff, when you feel like you said the same thing every single time, you get frustrated. Specifically with bourbon, it's vanilla, new wood, or oak, and then corn and caramel. That's the one that's being said for this first one here. Adios, JG. Thanks for stopping by. Ooh. Sunday, bloody Sunday. I'm trying to remember if I posted everywhere. I feel like it didn't. And I know there are a few other people doing things tonight. I feel a little bad about that, but I know Whiskey Friend. Whiskey, he was on. I don't know if he still is. I'm assuming he is. But the idea for me doing this is just was originally to kill some time before it's Bourbon Night started, and they aren't even going live tonight. It's going to be Trev Wilson tonight at 8 o'clock. I can only wonder if my keyboard makes clicking noises that are loud. I think it does. This is going to be weird. Bloop. There we go. The stuff you don't see on the professionals is when they're trying to just do stuff they forgot to do. Always weird because I know it's all being recorded. Blah. There we go. God, I hate using Facebook. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since they changed the look of it, I hate it. Well, I forgot where I was. I think it was here. Maybe not. Oh, lovely. That's all I can say is I like whiskey too much to get really angry at any of them. Slightly a problem, but oh well. Trev Wilson? He is a guy who often is moderating other people's channels. So for like It's Bourbon Night and a few other Whiskey Tube channels, he is a moderator, and he started doing live streams as well. And since It's Bourbon Night won't be live tonight, I have the shirt, he's going to go live at 8 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, I'm going to uncap all of these and just let them do their thing now. Because I'm going to do, I guess, rapid fire smelling or nosing, whatever. Let's see here. What's funny is I don't know if just because I've gotten used to drinking high proof bourbons, but I'm not hit by the alcohol immediately. Like it's not the thing that just goes, oh gosh, that's alcohol, like most people do when they're not used to drinking high spirits. But for me, it's just, well, these all smell good. Could I tell which is which? Probably not. I just know which ones they are, thankfully, because of the glassware. This is why I'm terrified to ever have to do a blind, especially with stuff I've never had, which, what am I doing now? I'm foreshadowing the possibility someday. I'm also paranoid because I had coffee earlier. These have thinned out a little now as far as the smell goes. Before it was very sweet smelling immediately, but now they're all just bourbon to me, which isn't bad. It's not good either. Flavor profile on this first one seems a lot more than I remember. I'm going to keep drinking out of it. I'm trying to keep track here. This one, okay. I'm trying to figure out if that actually reminds me of Jim Beam. I know I think it's a Jim Beam product. Again, memory is bad, but it does taste pretty good. It seems thinner than the first one, or at least maybe it's just because it's not doing that drying out thing. I don't know. Oh, the Crowded Barrel one just stands up all of a sudden and went pow. And the proof difference isn't even that high from the old tub. It's what, 6? I forgot. 7. 57.3. Noisy. I don't know why that kicked so hard. I like it. I definitely like it. So what I'm very good at is saying I like all the whiskey in front of me. And this is an elaborate excuse for me to try all the whiskey. This is something I would not normally do. I would not pour myself 4 different whiskeys and just start comparing them. Probably should do it more often, but the only way I'm going to do that is if I'm streaming, of course. I know this is the highest proof right here, but first of all, it doesn't smell like it. And the taste, ooh, nom, nom. It certainly seems like there's more to it. Again, this is all just for me to try this out. Oh, I can definitely feel that. But in a good way. Maybe I should try all these over ice someday. I mean, I've drank them all over ice separately. That's certain. But I don't think I've ever had them all with ice and tried them all at the same time. Honestly, adding ice to high proof whiskey makes it seem like a cocktail to me. It's just how it is. Show me the proof. Could I tell these apart? I feel like I couldn't, except for maybe the Crowded Barrel one. That's the real thing I'm doing here, is because I know blind flights and such are a thing. But how the heck they can tell the nuances and difference out of these, I'm not sure. And again, I'm terrified because I had coffee earlier. I feel like that's really thrown me off. Yeah, this one smells fruitier, weirdly enough. Like plums or something. It's a dark fruit. Now, was that finished in something? I don't know. I don't remember. I just know it's chapter 7, I think. No, chapter 3. That one, the empty one's chapter 7. You know what they did with chapter 3? I forget. I just know I was interested, and I got the bottle. I'm trying to let these change and do stuff. That's the idea now, is since they're high proof, just let them hang out while they're open. So I took all of these off. And I did notice a distinct difference in smell when I did have the caps on, and then I took them off. Everything seemed a little more intense, I guess we'll say. Unfortunately, I only have, well, actually, no, I have quite a few of these. When I think about it. We have its bourbon night. We have aquavite. We have 2 metal Crowded Barrel coins, Whiskey Tribe coins. And then, if you look over my, well, technically my left shoulder, these 2 are aquavite. And I don't have my wallet on me, but I carry one of these around in my pocket for when I run into people who may be whiskey people and say, how do you whiskey? So I have 3 of the metal ones. Thankfully, I don't need any more. I don't know where to go with this. I mean, this is just an elaborate excuse to drink a lot of whiskey all at once, technically. Although I did do tiny, tiny pours, thankfully. But still, this is at least probably close to 3 ounces. And it's very dangerous to drink a lot of whiskey all at once within even an hour. That's why other streamers, I don't know how they do it. I think that's part of why they end up having long streams that go over an hour easily. Yeah. For whatever reason, the Crowded Barrel one sticks out, while Old Tub and this one smells more oaky to me, or at least smells like a wood thing going on. The Old Tub, I'm not getting much off of right now. in case you didn't know, you should always smell with your mouth slightly open because air circulation. That was key for at least me learning more about whiskey. I know if I was just drinking these high proofs and smelling them specifically without my mouth open, it may be something that will hurt. I'll try it. I haven't done that in a while, actually. I always kind of unconsciously do it. It's not bad. God, they all smell so sweet. Except for this one. This one smells like fruits. Keeping my mouth closed, I got a char smell out of that one. That was weird. And now with my mouth closed, this one smells sweeter at the end. Remember that taste is subjective. Because everything that happens when you're having a whiskey changes the way it tastes and smells. It's just how it is. It's what makes the experience interesting. One thing I could do, now I'm thinking about it. These first two are both 50%. So what I will do is drink the last of this one. And then pour what I know is a lower percent. Ow. That's a weeded one. Shoot. Oh, of course. I know exactly what I'll do. It only makes sense to do it, honestly. Ugh. I'm wondering what Trev's going to do tonight, to be honest. I know I wish I could have done more for this, but again, I haven't eaten much today, and pouring 4 whiskeys at once still makes me uncomfortable, especially high-proof ones. It's dangerous, sort of. I am in the comfort of my own place here, so it's fine. But, I also have stuff to do tomorrow. I don't know. Oh. Lovely. I honestly don't know how other people do this. It's maddening. I can only imagine doing it blind. Oh, this one still is drying out my tongue. That's the only thing I can pick out from this one is Evelyn's Bottle and Bond will dry out my tongue more than these other 3. Strangely enough. That's a lot. Ow. That's the way to do it, I suppose. Whew. A lot more tingle, a lot more flavor. I got cookie dough, which I don't think I've ever done before with Evan Williams. But all of a sudden, it was like chocolate chip cookie dough. God, it was bizarre. The fun moments of drinking whiskey are when, for me, it seems, is when I'm not really paying attention. Like just then, I just drank the last of it, and it was a little more than a sip. And all of a sudden, I got chocolate chip cookie dough. I don't know why. Yeah, rinsed out with water. Now, one of our viewers may recognize this. We'll pour a little bit of Evan Williams Black Label. Take all the water out. No. That was probably very loud. There we go. This one is 43%. Technically the same stuff as the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, technically. But smells completely different, which is weird. And I usually pour Evan Williams Bottle and Bond over a big old ice ball, but never smells or tastes like this to me. And all this is Evan Williams Black Label. I don't think the mash is different, but I'm not sure. I'm perplexed. But at least now we have a low number. So we have a 43%, a 50%, I should say proof. What's the proof? 86, 100, 114-ish. And I've forgotten what this one is. I know it's the highest proof, 125-ish. Up the scales. All right, this is just the 43. It's going to taste very thin, probably, compared to what I've been drinking over the past 30 minutes or so. 40 minutes, ooh. It's not bad. It doesn't dry my mouth out as much as the Bottled and Bond. Kind of does still, but not to the same extreme as before. Let's see here. Doing research while going live is fine. There we go. Oops. Pretty sure it's the same stuff. That certainly seems to have more of a, at least more words than the other one did compared to the before. Vanilla, musty, huh? I don't know about that. Candy, maybe. Pralines? Oh. Now, the real question that I'm trying to answer is, again, personally, to my tastes, do I enjoy higher proofs? It certainly seems that way. And I find I get more out of higher proofs. Yes, it is Bubble Bath Bourbon. Like I spent the past 40 minutes going over these high proofs, and then I go back to a 43%. I was like, whoa. It's not bad. As I was saying, it was I get the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond simply because of the proof and the price. But funny enough, I often drink it over a big cube of ice, and it doesn't taste like the black. And it doesn't even smell like the black. Maybe a little? Not really. I actually like the smell of the Bottled and Bond more than the black. And it even does a different thing entirely to how it tastes at the end. Like I was talking before, I got this drying thing at the end with the white label. Not so much for the black label, it seems. I really just need an Evan Williams party someday, especially since I have 2 bottles right now for the moment. That Bottled and Bond white will not last much longer, I don't think. That's the old tub. It's similar. And what's funny is it is making me think of Jim Beam. Just regular Jim Beam, oddly enough. And I don't know if that's because I drank a whole bottle of it a while ago. I actually hadn't touched Jim Beam in quite a while. Many years, well over 10 years. And I only got a bottle of it not long ago. Finished it. But now that I'm sipping Old Tub, and I'm fairly certain it's from Jim Beam, I can't remember. As always, my brain doesn't do good with memorizing things. I should do that more often. When I'm doing these, I'm like doing this, trying to read chat. I can just make it bigger. It's easier. But yes, I would agree with that statement. I actually enjoy the Maker's Mark cast strength I don't think I've had Jack barrel strength. But then again, the only thing I've had from Jack Daniels recently is hiding. There it is. Hiding in plain view. The single barrel select. And that's only 47%. So it's almost 50. But oh god, I need to kill that. That's sad. KIllco, killing bottles every day. That would not be good. But yes, my whiskey journey has found, at least noticeably recently, is that I have enjoyed higher proof stuff more. And I don't know if it's because of the alcohol. I hope not. Or just because it's more flavorful to me. Or at least it seems to be more flavorful to me. This one in particular is the only one I could definitely say is not like the other ones. As far as my ability to nose stuff and pick any sort of thing out goes. Because let's do a quickie. How do people do this without losing their minds? Yeah. For whatever reason, the Crowded Barrel one is noticeably different from the other three. Even with this one being the lower proof. Like this is the black label now. It's very faint. I'm getting marshmallow. I think I've gotten that before. My other question about whiskey tasting in general is, do you think that after drinking for a bit, you start to just imagine stuff? Like after you've had a few sips of high proof stuff, you're like, oh, marshmallows, wow. A graham cracker, whatever. I know that probably pops up. Like I didn't say that by accident. Oh. I got something different out of this one, but I can't pin down what it was. I'll say pralines, even though I'm still not completely certain what that is. Or a dried fruit thing. And that's the 1792. Just hiding right here. Yeah, I was hoping this would actually answer some questions, but it's not. It's just telling me little things. I know. That's what I wonder. Well, we'll do that. Blip. More drinks equal more notes, real or not. Yeah. Subjective reality. Yes. I can say that. This one is Evan Williams Black, which is the 43%. This one is the, and I'm not guessing, I actually know what it is. I have things on the glassware that let me know. This one's the Old Tub, which is 100 proof, 50%. Yeah, this one, this is why I wish they were laid out in front of me. My camera doesn't quite do the right angle, and I haven't figured out a way to, I don't have anything that could reach here. Maybe someday I'll get something that I can just plunk it down so you can see it, but not yet. Someday. This is the Crowded Barrel Eleanor, which is 57.3. I've forgotten already. And this one here is the 1792, which is 65.2%, I think. Again, my memory is awful. Short-term memory problems are awesome. No, they're not. Yeah. Watch just made a noise and getting notifications about stuff. Wow. My reminder for its bourbon night just came on because it's about an hour till Trev, instead of its bourbon night, goes live tonight. Thankfully, he does the same kind of streams I like to do. It's just where it's hanging out most of the time. Yeah. Oh, you know what I will do? For the higher proof ones, since I've had them out a while, I got this nice little thing from the Crowded Barrel / Whizzky Vault. It's a water dropper. And it actually only does like drops. I don't know if I can show it on camera very well, but we'll put it in the highest proof one and see if it does anything. 1, 2, 3. This is actually the way I don't typically do with bourbons. Oh. There we go. A little spinny. But it is something I often do with peated scotch, because that noticeably difference when you add water to those. Oh, I'm getting like spices and more fruit notes out of it now. Oh, it's lovely. I'm only being reminded of how much I like this last one, which is the 1792. You see what I mean? I know it's 1792, but I always want to say 1776 or something like that. I've been watching too much Hamilton, I think. Getting all these old numbers stuck in my head. Ooh. Somehow it's sweeter now. And I definitely got more of that caramel note there. Oh, this last one. That's actually quite nice as far as a taste difference, just by adding a few drops of water. I wasn't really expecting much, but it's also got that, what's the word we used early? Spiky or tingly? My tongue is a twitter, we'll say. As if I just had some pepper kind of thing. I like it. But yeah, the water certainly did something to this one. Will it do anything to the Crowded Barrel one is the question of the moment. Let's try. Oh gosh, wrong thing. Ha! I almost put the wrong thing in there. That would have been bad. That would have messed up the whole process. Okay, 3 drops into the Crowded Barrel Eleanor. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Swirly swirl. This is also something I should be doing when I smell some of this, is just swirl it around like crazy. It definitely gets it moving and easier to smell, to say the least. A lot of the time I don't move it. I realize that now. Not a huge smell difference. It's actually muted now. Before, when I was smelling the Crowded Barrel one, it was noticeably different. Just because it seemed sweeter and it had this bizarre kind of char thing to it, I think. Not so much now. Yeah, it's the same smell, but less. It's not as prominent. But it's still different from the other ones. Which definitely tells me that even though it's just MGP being, aged in Texas, it certainly does something different. Yeah. Those weird fruit notes are still there, like raisins or something. I don't eat a lot of raisins, but Whoop. I did that wrong. I almost swallowed it incorrectly. I was about to start coughing. Definitely changed the way it tastes. It's not as aggressive as it was before. Not that it was extremely aggressive, but still. I wouldn't be certain if that was a bourbon, oddly enough, at the moment, after adding the water. But again, the Crowded Barrel one did seem different to me out of the lineup here. We're going for, which one's this? This is Old Tub now. This one does have a little mustiness to it now. I haven't done anything to it, but it's just been sitting open for, the past 50 minutes. Actually, 30 minutes is more like it. They were capped before. So technically, they're evaporating as well as me adding water. It's glorious. Now, again, this is the old tub, 3 drops of whiskey. This one is the 50%, 100 proof. 1, 2, 3. Science. It almost feels like science. Whoa. Apologies if that's incredibly loud. All right. The ADH whiskey does it like this all the time. I feel like it's going to go flying out of my hand if I do it like that. There's definitely more to it now, which is nice. More fruit notes. Again, kind of like the other one. Maybe I'm just imposing that last thought on there. But something I've gotten a couple times with bourbons is like a dried fruit, or maybe that's what people always say praline is. Yeah, that's been a thing, Bubble Bath. Let me hold on. Yes. Be careful when swirling your whiskey. You could get it in your eye. I have, glasses on, but still. I know on the whiskey vault in particular, there are numerous times where, for whatever reason, something's been happening. I think it was Daniel was opening a bottle, and Rex was to his left, opened it, and it went right into his eye, and it was hilarious. This is still the old tub. But yeah. I like how some people say candy. So the words that keep coming up in the app I use, which I think is posted down there, is stuff like pralines, pencils, candy, jam. That's not a bad one. But oftentimes I like looking at this form like I do in my videos just to get a general idea. This isn't even for Old Tub. This is actually for those notes I just gave were technically for Evan Williams Black. I don't get any of that from this stuff. I do get a musty note. I think that's part of why I don't like the black so much. It's more like a mixer for me. I'm happy with the proof, since it could be just the 40% cutoff, as most whiskeys do. But there's a weird funk to it, or a mustiness, that I don't exactly enjoy as much as I do with the higher proof bottle and bond. So at least I have that. That difference is noticeable to me. I haven't done a side-to-side, technically, but I do seem to enjoy the bottle and bond one more. And again, that was one that has been given high praise by numerous Whiskey Tube people and bourbon people, if only because of the price, if nothing else. I mean, again, $15 in my area for that bottle of White Label, which is now hiding. $15. And I bought that 3 weeks ago. Again, I have other whiskeys to try, so there's never any lack of whiskey, thankfully. But as a daily sipper kind of thing, it almost is it's ideal. Oh, and this is still the 43. Not bad, but the texture seemed different to me. That was bizarre. It seemed more oily for a second, which it shouldn't. I haven't added water to it or anything, but maybe it's because I did add water to the other 3. I don't know. Whiskey is weird. Proof is weird. Things are weird. All right, so have I answered the question is, show me the proof? Not really. I do realize for myself that the proof does matter as far as just my general enjoyment. Can I tell a huge difference between each one? Not really. I mean, every single one seems to burn on the way down, at least at the start. But it's not terrible. As far as a intermediate or beginner drinker goes, I think it is safer to start with 43% or 45%. But once you start getting into 50-something plus, I think you're almost spoiled at that point because the alcohol certainly helps. You enjoy the experience a little more. I'm certainly enjoying it at this point, and I still have quite a few to drink. But does it actually affect the flavor and the sense of it? Kind of. And again, we're talking about subjective reality to begin with. It seemed like higher proofs. Why? I'll have to say it's probably because I get more flavor out of it. So it's more, there's more to it for some reason, just because of the higher alcohol volume. Exactly why, I don't know, but it certainly seems to be a thing for me. It may be a thing for you. It may be why you don't like whiskeys. It may be why you do like whiskeys. It's the fun of the whole experience is that you can go from 40% to 60+%. And even though it's not a huge amount, it's still quite a variance when you're trying whiskey for the first time. I mean, if I was introduced to the highest proof stuff immediately, I'd have a problem. I know most of the stuff I drank early on was 40-ish. And I'm kind of glad that it was. It was also mostly scotch, I think. And now I find myself drinking mostly bourbons because of price. But anyway, I'm going to cut it here since we've been at the hour mark. And it's not super busy. Usually it's when there's a lot of chat going on that I start to just go over an hour. But I will be back I'll probably do a video this week, and I will probably attempt to do more streams in the future. I know I've done 2 over the past few days. I think I did one on Friday. I may do one on Saturday of next week. Undecided. I'm not making any actual promises. But I am trying to get more content out, and I am trying to do more streams because streams are easier for me to do. But still haven't come out with a different outro. I'm going to out with the high proof, of course. But until next time, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. Don't forget to be awesome. And Slancha. Oh, yeah, that one has more kick to it. Woo-hoo-hoo.